Hey folks, welcome to the Do-It-Yourself Dad channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I'm powering my whole house, or at least most of my whole house, with what's in this box. So we are powering our house safely and legally using a transfer switch. Now what a transfer switch is, if you don't already know, is it gives you the ability to basically backfeed your house without accidentally backfeeding the grid. We'll talk about that in just a second. And on my unit, you can choose up to 6 circuits. So we're basically replacing circuits that are in there with what's on here. So right now you can see they're all switched to line. It's taking power off the grid. And if I flip these up, it'll take the power from the generator and feed it into the house. Now the reason you want to do one of these, some people just take the generator and they backfeed it into the house. But if you don't know what you're doing and you don't turn off your main breaker here, you can backfeed the grid and you can kill a lineman. So we don't want to be doing that. Not to mention it is illegal in most areas to be doing that. So this is not so much of a DIY job as a lot of the other stuff is a DIY job on my channel. I would recommend hiring an electrician if you're doing something like this. If you know what you're doing, go for it. I do have links to these down in the description below, and there are all sorts of prices. This is a 6 circuit. My neighbor installed, I think, a 10. Another neighbor installed a 4. Just depends on what you are planning on powering and what kind of generator you have. Now these generators have been kind of the rage of the internet and the rage of RVers and whatnot, but I'm actually powering most of my house. Now, when you do this, you do have to pick which 6 circuits you're going to be powering, at least with mine, and you have to figure out what the power draw is of those things. So you want to check your large appliances like your refrigerator and things like that, and be aware things like an air conditioner on your house, you're not going to be able to run with this generator. You're not going to be wanting to run things like pool pumps or dryers or large appliances or a plug-in electric range. In my case, I have a gas range, 1 fridge in the house. So the way we've set this whole thing up, we don't power the spa. Air conditioner's over there, we don't power the air conditioner. We don't power the pool. One of the big reasons I wanted this thing was because I got my my koi out here and several aquariums in the house, and if these things, if the pumps shut off for a while, the fish will die. They don't get enough oxygen. So I really wanted to make sure that these are powered. So these are all still powered. So I'm running this, my refrigerator, my ponds, my aquariums, and everything else in the house on that generator. Now on top of that transfer panel and the generator, the other things you're going to need to make this work is a cable and in our case an adapter. And I'll have a link for this cable that I'm using and this adapter. So if you're running a panel and you need to step down to one of these 3 prongs, I've got that down below if you want to check that out. And I have it in this enclosure. And I did this just to keep the weather off it. Obviously I removed the fuel if we're going to be running it. This thing fits this generator perfect. So I've got a link for this thing if you want to check this one out. I got it on, I think, Amazon. It was a real quick and easy setup. But let's show you how this whole thing works and gets plugged in. So that one is a twist. Now we're going to run this end over to the transfer switch. Now on this one, it plugs into the bottom. So I did put a little black mark on this and a black mark on the bottom to make it a little bit easier to hook it up, because with my luck, if there was ever a power outage, I would be doing this in the dark. So that's all there is to it to hook this up. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn off the panel to simulate a power outage, and we're going to turn on the generator, fire this thing up, and I'll show you how it all works. Okay, so now we've simulated a power outage by cutting all the power off to the house. You obviously wouldn't have to do that in a real scenario. Come over to the generator. Now the generator's running. Coming over to our transfer switch now. We're going to start flipping the circuits over. So we'll go 1. And you notice you heard that thing spool back up. And that's because the appliances are coming back online. And turning around here, you'll notice my koi pond is running. Go to the next circuit. And you generally want to do these one by one to give the generator a chance to spool up. So there you go. Now we have every circuit that we have ability to charge charged inside the house, and the house is running. So now let's go inside and show you how that works. All right, let's take a quick break from talking about generators and transfer switches and power outages to thank today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is Skillshare. Now, when Skillshare reached out to us, I haven't really done sponsorships like this before because none of them related to what we do here. But this is a tutorial channel, and that's what they do is tutorials. And actually, when I first started the channel, I signed up for an account with them, took a bunch of classes on video editing and YouTube and creating YouTube as a business, and that was a big help. So when they reached out, it seemed like a good fit, so I want to tell you about them. It's an online learning platform where you can take video classes on just about everything. I took YouTube stuff. Right now I'm taking some stuff on business and LLC things. I've taken things on editing and Adobe and Photoshop and Excel. So if you want to learn stuff online in a really fun, easy way, check out Skillshare. Now I've got a link down below that they gave me. The first 1,000 people that sign up get a free trial, no strings attached. You can check them out without having to put in your credit card or anything like that. So be sure to thank our sponsor and go check them out. Let's get back to the video. Now, since I know how YouTube works, there's always going to be somebody that says you faked it, you turn the breaker back on or something like that. So I'm going to try to do this all in one shot. So forgive me if I kind of trip with the camera. You can see here, breaker's off, panel is switched over, generator's running. Coming over here, pond is running, pumps are running, waterfall's running. Let's go inside and show you what's running inside. All right, so we're coming inside the house, and I can hear things are beeping. Let's get the, my lights aren't on yet, but you can hear things are beeping inside the house because the power went out, and it's giving me that warning. But you can see the stove over here is powered back up. It's doing that flashy fault thing. My refrigerator on. All my nice cold food still cold. Coming over this way, let's turn on those kitchen lights. See, the kitchen lights are on, fired up. We'll go down the hallway light here, on. The aquarium at the end of the hallway running, lights on. My office light on. Coming this way into here, I've got all my modem and everything in here is running. Now I do have on this, and this is a good pointer for you, an uninterruptible power supply. So if the power goes out, it feeds it juice for about 20 minutes and keeps it online. That way when you kick on your generator, you're not having to restart your modem and wait like a half hour, because I've noticed during power outages, everybody's modem's trying to get back up online. So it takes forever for those to come back up. This fish tank, this aquarium is running. Let's see if we can get that. This light is actually attached to my home automation system. Alexa, turn on the aquarium light. So there you go, aquarium light's on, pumps are running, the heater in there is running, so all the important stuff, everything's running. Turn on another light. Just kicked on the light right there. So you can see I'm powering pretty much the whole house, everything we would need. Heck, let's go one step further. It's the slowest TV to fire up on the planet, but it's on. The Roku's probably still restarting, so it's going to take it a little bit of time. But you can see I'm powering pretty much the whole house. Oh, there it goes. Now, things I'm not powering, because I did mention there are things I'm not powering. Inside here is my furnace. That's not powered right now. However, it's a 110. So if you were freezing and you had to power it, you could actually run an extension cord to another circuit. I'm not powering my air conditioning. I'm not powering a lot of the circuits in the garage right now are not being powered because they're not really necessary. It's more the living conditions, and we have a home office here, so we've got to keep all the internet and computers running. But right now you can see I turned on all the lights in the front of my house. My fridge is running, everything's running, and the generator is doing fine. Let's go out and actually look at the power meter on the generator now and see what that thing is pushing out. All right. So it's pushing out 13.1 amps right now. It'll kick up when the compressor on the fridge kicks on. You can see it's pretty much handling the whole house. So hey, if this video helped you out at all, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below what you thought. Now, if you're looking for a smaller generator, cheaper solution, I have another video that I put up a year or two ago about that and how we just did it with extension cords. I'll have that link down below if you want to check that out. But again, like I said, if this video helped you out at all, give me a great big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button because we've always got awesome stuff like this on the channel. And leave a comment down below. Let me know what kind of stuff you're working on, what kind of stuff you would like help on, or if you have any questions about this setup. And of course, thanks for watching.